The Rev'It Huntington leather jacket is new for spring/summer 2020, and this is the final of the 3 brand new leathers in that collection that we're showing you guys. And what a collection it is. Revit have really done very, very well in the past to incorporate all of their background experience in MotoGP and adventure riding and infusing all of their urban dedicated gear with all of that practical know-how and protective elements. And this really shines through for 2019 because all of these leathers are certified to AA, occupying a price point from $299 in the Sherwood, which you can check out in one of our other video reviews, through to $329 in the Cordite, through to $399 in the Huntington. The subtle differences between each of the 3 of them, and we do strongly urge you to check out the other 2 video reviews if you're interested. And this one's sitting on top of the pile as the most premium offering in it. It's premium by virtue of the fact that it has a full grain, really nicely waxed and treated leather on the outside, which has this lovely anthracite color, as they call it. It's the only colorway that this particular jacket comes in at, and I absolutely love it. It's elevated to a sort of gray with just a hint of that kind of slightly greeny texture coming through from it as well, which you can probably see quite clearly under the lights. In reality, in outside lights, it's a little bit more subdued perhaps than the studio lights suggest. It's a lovely, lovely colorway. This one comes with a removable thermal liner, which is really what explains the main price difference between this and the Cordite. So it's a £70 price difference, and you could really argue that that's quite a lot to pay for a removable lining, but it also adds very much to the ease of use of using it in hot and cold weather by having it as a gilet. You can simply zip out underneath rather than having to accessorize with different mid layers separate to the jacket itself. So this is fundamentally a shortcut leather jacket designed for the majority of the UK riding climate. That is to say, this will extend into the colder parts of the year, particularly in the Huntington, with the use of this removable thermal liner, but it will also go through to the warmer parts of the summer. Exception being really the very, very extreme parts of the summer riding season where you're going to need to move into a mesh jacket, and pretty much any leather simply is going to be too hot. There is one exception here. We have the Sherwood, which is the one at $299. We have the Sherwood Air as well, which is basically a perforated version of that leather jacket. For me though, really, you might as well just have a leather and have a mesh jacket, because the leather perforations mean you're going to get water coming in if it's slightly wet, and it's still not going to give you maximal airflow as compared with a mesh jacket as well. But that's just my 2 cents. And as always, we'd love to hear your guys' opinions on that matter. This one comes with pre-curved sleeves for an ergonomic fit, and the fit, particularly with these 3 jackets, is spot on for the needs of the urban rider. So they haven't just simply taken their cut from their race dedicated leathers and translated it, because that would be far too constrictive. These have a nice, what we call city fit, in the sense that they fit across the chest, nice and snug, but still with good articulation in the arms, but they're not too restrictive across the midsection and around the belly and the waist. So if you do have a little bit of a belly, they are not too unflattering. And I think that the cut is generally really nice to wear on and off the bike. So in terms of the sizing though, this whole range comes up a size larger than previous versions of Revit's own leathers does, which probably is a good correction in the way that we want to see the sizing go in that range, but it just needs to be noted that there is a difference from previous collections of Revit. So this time round, as someone who is 6'2" with a 42-inch chest, I'm in their size 50, which equates to a UK size 40-inch chest. So fitting into a 40 as someone who's more like a 42-inch chest, as you can see, suggests it to be a size large. And we have verified this with the other guys in the office who come in at different chest sizes, and consistently it seems to be one size big across the range. So we're going to label it to that effect on our own size guide, and do check all the size guides out at Urban Rider in whatever size it is you're looking to buy. The actual cut, as I said, once you adjust for the slight difference in sizing, is though spot on, and I find this to be a very comfortable jacket. And I think they've done a great job, particularly when it comes to the branding with this collection. They've toned it down considerably from what most brands do, and the branding is fairly minimal. So you have it engraved into these black zippers, which you can see across the front with the 2 pockets on either side and the central zipper. And then you have simply the Revit patch on the sleeve, which is very, very sort of toned and blended into this nice waxed finish to this full grain leather. The thickness of the leather itself comes in, I would say, around 1.1. We don't have an actual measurement from Revit, which is a little bit frustrating, but to pass AA certification, it's unlikely to be less than that, and it really doesn't feel more than that, which is a good thing, because ultimately you want the thinnest thing that can get away with passing this higher level of CE approval if possible, because it's going to feel nicer off the bike and lighter and more like a fashion jacket to wear, which is really the goal in a lot of the gear that we offer. So this comes included at the price in any of those 3 jackets with the Revit Seesmart Level 1 C approved award-winning removable armour in the elbows and shoulders, and it simply is accessed by a Velcro pocket on the inside. You do not need to remove this armour, it really is the thinnest stuff around and you just won't notice that it's in, but it will do its job locking together on impact to disperse any kind of impact from a crash, and it's just very, very streamlined. So it works really well, particularly in this urban gear. There's also pockets so you can upgrade in the back to have the Seesoft armour, and just beneath that back protector you have a zipper piece, so you can connect this to compatible trousers to create a one-piece type effect, or you can find something like the Revit Safeway belt, which is a universal belt that you can attach to your jeans and still get that one-piece effect by zipping it to one of these jackets, avoiding that gap that you sometimes get in the middle. There isn't too much by way of a drop to the back, so having something like that Safeway belt as a little accessory really might make it worthwhile in terms of these leather jackets being shortcut and not having an exposed lower back section. So in terms of the other spec, the other tech, if you like, on the jacket, there's not really much to say. These are not in any way waterproof, other than by virtue of the natural qualities of leather. I think a lot of people underestimate, actually, when they set out to look for a jacket, how good leather can be in the wet. I use one pretty much every single day, and I use it in pretty much even really bad rain on a 40-minute commute either way, and it's actually very rare that it gets through to me, and it's just this kind of thing from a different brand. It's actually quite hardy, but if it is bad, of course, you just accessorize with a little rain jacket, the kind of thing that folds up, goes into your underseat compartment, your backpack, or whatever it is, however you ride, so it's not really too much of a deal breaker. Leather is actually a very easy to live with material in and of itself. So going down underneath, what you can see on the outside, you just notice this little piping section around the collar and also the cuff. So that's nice, makes it comfortable around the neck and also at the cuffs. And you've got these access pockets on the lower waist section and then also across here. These are somewhere that I would suggest are probably more decorative. Open it up, you get a small degree of airflow through them, but you're not really going to want to store too much in there, I wouldn't think. There is an extra pocket on the inside underneath a few layers of the leather with a sort of Napoleon pocket, as they call it, and that's probably the best place to store genuine valuables. An extra one on the inside there on the actual lining, and as you can see, this simple zipper runs around the perimeter and allows you to remove that lining, which is not overly thick, but it's a good quality material, so it does do well to insulate the heat when you need it to. And with that removed, you see you've got this sports liner, which just helps wick away moisture and helps with comfort in between you and that leather outer. So a jacket that really offers everything you would want from a quality sort of mid-price point motorcycle jacket that you can use in the majority of riding conditions for a UK climate. And I think reasonably priced too. Love the styling, and as I said, I really do love the colour on this one. Let us know your thoughts, comments and feedback, and do subscribe to our channel as always to be the first to find out about the world's finest riding gear. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.